we're going to work with the lymphatic system using microcurrent, the ProSport 3. So I get asked this quite a bit, is how can we stimulate the lymphatic system? So we're going to actually address what is the lymphatic system and why we are doing this, and how it can also cause pain in the body. So we know that the lymphatic system works very closely with the circulatory system. We know that the circulatory system starts with that wonderful heart of ours. It gives a nice pumping and a lot of pressure, and it actually pushes the blood through the arteries into the smaller capillaries, in which it then transfers back into other capillaries that leads back into the vein once the oxygen is now depleted, gone into the other tissues, and then back into the lungs where it gathers up oxygen again, and then back to the heart. In that process of the arteries pushing the blood through the smaller capillaries, some of that fluid escapes, and that fluid we call is lymph. That lymph actually spills over into our tissue in the body. And that tissue is also a combination of where all the toxins have developed, and it's become a little stagnant, and parasites and fungus and all the bad stuff that we really want to get out of our system. So some of the fluid that escaped from that capillaries into the tissue area is actually good. The body really wants it back. It's got a lot of proteins, a lot of good stuff. So as it enters into the tissue area, and it's also filtering in with all those toxins and debris and stuff that we really want to get out of our system, these little smaller capillaries called lymphatic capillaries are there waiting for it. But they don't have muscles, and it's a very slow-moving system. These little capillaries are all over the bodies. They look like spider webs all amongst the body, collecting all that trash and debris and toxins that we accumulated. Sometimes when we don't get a lot of exercise or we don't have a lot of movement, either that we chose that path or maybe we've had an accident which we can't get out of bed, a lot of times that lymph will become stagnant. Because you have to remember, those capillaries, they don't have muscles. And so what causes that movement of lymphatic is actual movement. We got to move. We have to exercise. You have to breathe. The diaphragm. You have to exercise and breathe and move. And do it again. And when you don't, that lymphatic system will slow down, and sometimes we get a little swelling, and that swelling will cause edema. That edema could turn the tissue a little red. It can be swollen and could actually cause some pain. That pain could be anywhere. If you have swelling in your tummy, sometimes a lot of people, they experience it maybe if they ate something that didn't agree with them, and all of a sudden the stomach swells up because the digestive system was slowed down a little bit, and they'll say, oh, my stomach hurts. Sometimes it's in the back. You know, they have a little swelling in the back area, in the low back, and that might cause a little pain. Or sometimes it's in the back of the neck or the shoulder areas. It just feels a little achy, but you feel it, and the muscles or the skin actually feels a little bit like it's all swollen, and it doesn't feel like a normal tissue, but a little spongy. That's edema. So how we address the lymphatic system with microcurrent is you want to make sure that you release all blockages. So a blockage could be caused by a few things in the body. One of those is scar tissue. And earlier we actually released the scars or cleared the scars with Dan by using Blue Relax and RSI and Blue Stem. And we did that, remember, when we painted on the scar and made sure it was no longer sticky. The next thing you want to do is make sure the central nervous system and the connective tissue next to the spine is cleared. And we did that also earlier, and that was called 3 pathways. It's where we painted on the spine, starting at T1, painted all the way straight down, and we used Blue Relaxed on Dan, and then we painted to the left and then painted to the right, and then we addressed the cervical. Once we've done that, we've cleared the scars, we've cleared the spine, and now we're ready to adjust the lymphatic system itself. Just as a normal lymphatic massage, I will put my device on blue relax and hit the select button. I will come up to the clavicle areas because, again, that's where we want to start that pumping sensation. We have to stimulate the lymphatic, making it move. So I'm going to power up, and Dan, just let me know when you feel the power. You feel it? Okay, I'm just going to adjust just above the clavicle into the neck area and just give it a little bit of pumping sensation in here, very simple. Now working with the lymphatic system, you want to be very gentle. It doesn't take much to stimulate. You don't need to do any pressure at all. It's just placing the device on the skin. That's all. Just a light tapping sensation with a pump. And we talked about the lymphatic system itself starts with these little lymphatic capillaries that actually will, in the connective tissue, that will actually pick up those toxins, pick up all that extra fluid, and now it's going to want to move that once we stimulate a little bit, and we're going to go into the tummy area. Now, if we have a little edema in the area, you can take readings to find the highest impedance, because once those capillaries pick up the toxins, they're going to transport them to a larger vessel. And those vessels have valves, so make sure the lymphatics, the lymph does not go backwards. And then those vessels are going to transport it to a larger duct. And that duct is actually right in the middle of your system, right inside in your stomach. And your stomach has a lot of lymphatic nodes as well. So you really want to do this nice circular motion on the tummy. You start at the belly button and work yourself out. You want to place the probes in the inguinal area. You just slightly want to go into that area. You just want to stimulate just briefly. Because a lot of times we sit and we have a lot of stagnation in the lower part of our extremities as well. Go up and in. And then in back of the legs, you're going to start with the microcurrent, you're going to start at the part of the calves and move your way up underneath the knee and over into the hamstrings. And you're going to do the same on the other side. Just briefly, no pressure. Just a slight going over. Okay. Now, if there's swelling, sometimes people have swelling in the ankles. You can actually just go now into those ankle areas and just go over them slightly, stimulating as well. Any swelling, you want to take some readings, checking for highest impedance. So you can hold it still, checking and see if you have any inflammation as well in those areas. So, okay. Once you've done that and you've cleared all and brought down all the impedance level, then you're ready for your regular lymphatic massage. I know that doesn't seem like that was a very long protocol for lymphatic movement or stimulation, but that's basically all you really need to get that lymphatic system going or moving again. If you have a situation where maybe they have had surgery or some lymphatic nodes have been removed, and there's maybe a limb that is double the size or have increased in size dramatically, that is lymphedema, and that's something that will require a little bit more advanced therapists and training. However, this is an excellent tool to help that pain associated with lymphedema. And there is pain associated with stagnant lymph. You'll see that the person might experience, if they have stagnant lymph in the stomach area, they might experience stomach aches. If they have lymphatic tightness maybe in their ankles or in their shoulder areas or in the back where lymph has pooled, or in the back of their low back, those areas will start to have a little bit of achiness to them, and they'll just say, I have low back pain or I have shoulder pain, but all along it's just stagnant lymph. So moving the lymphatic system by a little stimulation with microcurrent is excellent. It's also very good for the therapist because we have, again, avoiding pain and strain to our own self.